Some pretty shocking news coming out from the World Health Organization of a very deadly and painful disease that is also very difficult to get away from, and they're saying it is coming to the United States. Take a look at the headlines. Mosquito-borne disease will be a major threat by 2033, warns the World Health Organization. Dengue fever kills 1 in every 100 patients and kills thousands every year across Asia and South America, but it doesn't mention the United States. However, they're saying it is on the way. Take a look. Fears are rising that it could become an epidemic in the United States due to rising global temperatures. This just coming out in the past week. WHO warns painful mosquito-borne disease will become a major threat this decade. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how exactly can they know that we're going to be experiencing an epidemic here in the United States, and it's going to be a painful and deadly disease coming from mosquitoes? Well, it turns out they've actually been studying this for quite some time, trying to stop it from happening, and they're saying that they are unsuccessful. Take a look. EPA okays a plan to release 2.4 million more genetically modified mosquitoes. They've actually been capturing the mosquitoes, trying to modify them genetically so that way they cannot transmit these diseases to humans, and then they've been releasing them. However, they're saying they cannot stop it. They cannot stop what is coming. Following Oxitec 2021 release of 144,000 mosquitoes in the Florida Keys, the EPA approved an expanded plan that added sites in California as well. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest articles coming out on this in the past week, as WHO is warning the United States this is going to be coming, and it's going to be very painful, very deadly, and it's going to be very difficult to keep away from this, as it's going to be transmitted by mosquitoes. Now, I know this is not the news that anybody wants to hear, but maybe we can try to prepare ourselves as this potentially spreads. And if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on this, do me a quick favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. In addition to that, we've got a word from today's video sponsor. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look at these articles so we can get you caught up on the latest. Today's video sponsor is Surfshark VPN. Now, my family and I have been using them for quite some time to keep our online data safe while traveling. Now, a VPN keeps your online identity safe by encrypting all of the information sent between your device and the internet. This keeps your personal data protected from big companies and cyber criminals. Also, a VPN swipes the real location of your device with a new one. This way, you can virtually travel to any country around the globe. Surfshark has over 3,200 servers in 100 countries. So if you're traveling, you can change your virtual location back to your home country so that way you don't miss out on any of the home comforts. Access and unblock content libraries and streaming services from other countries, like all of the Netflix libraries. A VPN encrypts your online data and helps to secure your personal information when you use free public Wi-Fi, which is a goldmine for hackers, so you want to make sure that you keep yourself safe. Surfshark's Clean Web features blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. So if you'd like to try it out, I've got a code for you linked down below. You can get their Black Friday deal and get up to 6 months free. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so try it with no risk at all. And again, thank you so much to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. So as always, link in the description below to this article that just recently came out on this that says mosquito-borne diseases will be a major threat by 2033, warns the World Health Organization. It says a killer mosquito-borne disease may become a serious threat in the United States and in Europe in the next few years, the World Health Organization has warned. Dengue fever could grip the southern U.S. and southern Europe before 2030, with rising average temperatures allowing mosquitoes to travel further into the areas. Today, around 20,000 people die annually from dengue fever, mostly in Asia and South America. The deadly disease kills 1 in every 100 patients, so they're saying this is a very deadly disease. In the U.S., there are relatively few cases, with around 1,200 annually. Around half of these infections are locally acquired, and now concerns are rising that the disease is spreading, with California last month recording its first locally acquired infection for a decade. Scientists believe that infectious mosquitoes could begin migrating to the U.S., which may cause dengue to become an epidemic. The virus could also be imported by travelers who are infected and are bitten by a local mosquito, who then spread the disease. Carried by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, dengue is already found in some areas of the southern U.S. It is active at all hours of the day and can reproduce in tiny pools of water. Chief scientist of the WHO, Sir Jeremy Farrar, it is important to talk more proactively when it comes to dengue. We need to really prepare countries for how they will deal with the additional pressure in the future in many, many big cities, he said, according to Mail Online. The clinical care is really intensive. It requires a high ratio of nurses to patients. I really worry when it becomes a big issue in sub-Saharan Africa. Dr. Farrar is an expert on tropical diseases, having spent 18 years working on them, including working on dengue fever in Vietnam. He was chief of the Wellcome Trust Global Health Charity before advising the UK government on its COVID pandemic response. In May last year, he joined the World Health Organization. Now, dengue is ultimately a viral infection caused by a virus which is transmitted to humans via a mosquito bite. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, the disease has broken out in the U.S. before, but the outbreaks are usually relatively small and limited. With the rising temperatures, it is believed that the disease could now establish itself. Patients are usually symptomless, but under half will develop signs such as a sudden headache, fever, pain behind the eyes, a severe pain in the joints. Joint pain can be bad enough that it feels as if they're being shattered, earning the nickname breakbone fever. In most severe cases, life-threatening complications can arise such as dengue shock syndrome, which is severe bleeding, or encephalitis, the swelling of the brain. Medication and fluids are used to manage the illness and machines used to monitor it, but this can be labor-intensive for hospitals. The Qgenda vaccine is recommended for children between ages 6 and 16 in areas where the disease is an epidemic, but the U.S. Food and Drug Administration are yet to sign off on its rollout. Now, you might be wondering, how exactly do they know that this is going to be coming? And as I mentioned, they've actually been studying this for the past couple years. Take a look at this article as the EPA has been capturing and trying to genetically alter these specific mosquitoes, and they talk about that exact same species carrying potential diseases. And as I mentioned, this actually came out in March of 2022. A British biotech firm this week got the green light from U.S. regulators to release over 2 million genetically modified mosquitoes into Florida and to California as a part of the expanded effort to combat transmission of diseases like Zika, dengue fever, and canine heartworm. The experimental public health effort, which still requires final approval from state regulators, follows the 2021 release of 144,000 genetically modified mosquitoes in the Florida Keys by British biotech firm Oxitec. Oxitec said a genetically modified male and thus non-biting mosquitoes. They find a mate with an invasive female Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, mitigating and reduction of the target population as the female offspring of these encounters cannot survive, thus reducing the overall population. In a news release announcing approval from the Environmental Protection Agency, Oxitec described its release in Florida in 2021 as a success. Given the growing health threat that this mosquito poses across the U.S., we're working to make this technologically available and accessible, Gray Franson, CEO of Oxitec, said, adding that the company will now apply for approval from California and Florida regulators. In Florida, the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes are relatively rare, but account for the vast majority of the mosquitoes transmitting the diseases, the Oxitec said. The invasive species was first detected in California back in 2013, and now they said we've seen the first case of this coming from mosquitoes in over a decade. We made significant progress during the pilot project last year. We look forward to continuing this important work during this year's mosquito season, Andre Leah, director of the Florida Keys Mosquito Control Disease, said in the Oxitec newsletter. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Might be a good time to start getting out that mosquito repellent and wearing long sleeves, and we will see, as they're saying that this could be posing a threat as temperatures begin to rise in the United States, particularly in the southern U.S. Now, in addition to that, we've also received word of Disease X, a major concern that has been coming out, and we also had warnings from the World Health Organization and experts as well saying the next pandemic is right around the corner. However, the last pandemic was the Spanish flu that was nearly 100 years ago. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that we're going to be experiencing this very soon, or do you think we've got another 100 years ahead of us? To get more information on Disease X and also some of the current things going on right now with our world, with war, with Social Security, our economy, check out these videos right here next, and I'll keep you up to speed on everything as it unfolds. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.